A very good morning to everyone. I hope all of you are fine. Today we will start with the last chapter which is coming in our test 4, which is chapter number 10, transportation of material. As we all know that food, water and oxygen are required by organism for their survival. Without these we cannot survive. And these material are required for carrying out the various life processes. Even those materials which are produced in one part of the body must reach to the other parts of the body. Further, the waste is produced in the body that has to be removed from a body by a system. Method of transporting materials within the body are thus very essential. Now the question comes how the food, water, gases and the waste material are transported within the body of the animals and plant. How these things are being carried out. Basically in this chapter we are going to study about how the food, water are transported in the body of the animals and plants. Firstly, we will discuss about the single-celled organism which are known as unicellular example. Suppose we take the example of amoeba, paramecium, cladomonas, which are single cell. Then we will study about the multicellular organism also, like Hydra and Spirogera, in which the materials are moved by diffusion. Now the question arises what diffusion is. Diffusion is a slow process in which the material are transported through the body of a simple single cell या फिर जो मल्टी सेलुलर ऑर्गेनिज्म होते हैं जिनकी बॉडी सिंप्लीफाइड फॉर्म में होती है उनकी बॉडी में फूड गेट ट्रांसफर्ड बाय द प्रोसेस ऑफ डिफ्यूजन बट इन मोर कॉम्प्लेक्स ऑर्गेनिज्म लाइक ह्यूमंस और ट्रीज a faster process is required in these organisms. So, diffusion is a passive movement of substances from a region of higher concentration to a region of their low concentration. Means जहाँ पे concentration ज़्यादा होती है वहाँ से food कहाँ transfer होगा? From a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration. In animals, the transport system is called as the circulatory system. And if we consider the case of the plant, there is a system of pipe-like channels called conducting tissue or vascular tissue to transport water, minerals, food material within the plant body. So we will be studying about the two systems, the circulatory system in animals and conducting tissue or vascular tissue to transport the water and minerals in the plant. So the first system in humans is the circulatory system. A liquid always circulates within the narrow tube or the channels throughout a body. We know this liquid is called as the blood, and the tube and the channels are known as the blood vessel. जो liquid transport होता है हमारी body में उसे हम क्या बोलते हैं? Blood. And the tubes through which it is being transported, they are known as the blood vessel. Blood mainly carries or transport the following substances. First, the digestive food from the small intestine to all the parts of the body. Second, oxygen from the lungs to the cells of the body. And the third is the waste product produced in the body for removal from the body. So the circulatory system of the human mainly consists of the heart, the human blood vessels, which are arteries, veins and capillaries, and the blood, about which we will be studying all in detail. The heart is known as the pumping station and brings about the circulation of the blood within the blood vessel. So firstly we will study about the human heart. As we know, heart is a muscular organ located in the chest cavity. It is slightly tilted towards the left side and it is about the size of our fist. Let's study about the structure of the heart. Our heart is divided into two halves. Each side of the heart has two chambers. The upper two chambers are called as the atria, singular atrium or auricles. And the lower chambers are called as the ventricles. There are valves between the auricle and the ventricle on each side. So the upper chambers are called the atria and or auricles, and the lower ones are known as the ventricle. The right auricles opens into the right ventricle, okay, and the left auricle into the left ventricle. There are no valves in between the two auricle or in between the two ventricles. So no valves are present between the auricles and the ventricles. And because of this type of construction of the heart, the blood in the right side of the heart remains completely separated from the left side of the heart. The valves allow the blood to flow only in one direction, and there is no mixing of the oxygenated blood, which is rich in oxygen, and with the deoxygenated blood, which is rich in carbon dioxide. So both the oxygenated blood and the deoxygenated blood do not mix with each other because of the construction of the heart. Now we will study about the function. The heart acts as a pump and brings about the movement of the blood. First, we will study in this about the blood vessels. As we know, inside our body there is a system of pipes or channels through which the blood flows. These pipes or channels are called as blood vessels. Some of these pipes carry blood away from the heart while others bring the blood to the heart. So two types of blood vessels are there, which are arteries and veins are present inside the body. In addition to the arteries and vein, a fine blood vessel forms the connection between these arteries and these veins, which are known as capillaries. First comes the arteries. Blood vessels that take blood away from the heart are called as arteries. जो blood heart से लेकर जाते हैं उन्हें हम क्या बोलते हैं? Arteries बोलते हैं. Arteries are deep seated except at some places like in the wrist, the temple and along the side of the neck. Arteries have thick elastic walls. Arteries carries only the pure oxygenated blood except the lung. Valves are absent in arteries. So these are the important characteristics of the arteries. Blood flows rapidly and at very high pressure in the arteries. The pressure of the blood strongly pushes the thick elastic arteries wall. These walls stretch and shrink as the blood passes by. The pulse can be felt at any of the places where the arteries lie close to the skin. When you visit a doctor, you must have often seen that a doctor holding your wrist to check your pulse. He is in fact counting your pulse rate by feeling the pressure of the movement of the blood through the arteries at your wrist. So we can say pulse is the throbbing movement caused by the flow of the blood in the arteries under pressure. And the number of times the pulse beats per minute is called as the pulse rate. Pulse rate in a person at rest is between 72 and 80 beats per minute.